Hi, thank you for joining me today. We're going to look at a little bit of rotation, how to get a little bit of rotation in your spine. Okay, so we're going to start off standing up, feet hip width apart, weight nice and even through your feet. Just make sure your pelvis is neutral, your rib cage is nicely sat on top of your spine. The crown of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. And we're going to start just by tucking the chin slightly, so we're lengthening the back of the neck a little bit more than normal. And we're going to start just turning the head from side to side. So you're going to breathe out, turn to look over your shoulder one way, come back through centre, and turn to look over your shoulder the other way. Alright, breathing out to turn, breathing into centre, breathing out the other way. You can start to look out of the corner of your eyes just to see if you can increase that mobility anymore. Finding length still through the crown of the head. And we're gradually going to make this a little bit bigger, so we're going to start taking our shoulders round with us. Looking behind us, coming back through centre, and then looking the other way, turning the head, the neck, and the shoulders, and looking through centre. Just starting to move the rib cage as well, now leaving the hips still. And we'll do a couple more here. Last one in each direction. And then we're going to come down onto the floor. Okay, for some side lying. You're going to need a large book or a block and a head cushion I've got here, just to give your head and neck some support and to keep your alignment good in this side lying position. I want your feet, or your legs to be in chair position, okay? And you're going to want your head to be at the very front of your book or your block or your cushion. Arms are reaching long in front of you. We're stacked shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip in this position. And you need to have some activity and a little bit of lift in your waist, okay? So that we keep as neutral a spine as possible. Feel for the rib cage and make sure your rib cage is still channeling straight down towards your hips. So we're in a good alignment through your spine. Little bit of centering switched on. And we're going to start just by reaching that top hand forward, rotating through the head, the neck, and the upper back as you reach that top arm forward. And then you're going to roll back behind you, drag that top arm up the bottom arm, and roll the spine back. Keeping the hips nice and still as you do this, just rocking forward. And back. Good. We'll do one more like that. Just getting a little bit of rotation into the spine. And then we'll turn it into a little circle, okay? So this time we're going to rock the upper body forward. We're going to imagine we've got a piece of chalk in that top pan, and we're going to start to draw a little circle up and around the body. Following that head round now, rotating through the head, the neck, the upper back as we take that arm round behind us, dusting it back across the hip, reaching forward again and circling that arm up and round. Taking that head, the neck, the upper back with you, trying to keep the hips as still as you can. One more in this direction, circling up and round. Good, rotating the spine as you go. And then we're going to take it back the other way now, sending the arm down first, circling round and back behind you. Watch for the arm, bring it forward and circling round. Getting lots of nice movement and rotation through the thoracic spine. Following that arm round with your gaze. And coming to stop there. Okay, we'll take that onto the other side. So you'll just need to move your block or your book down the other end. Okay, we'll just turn over. Knees still in that chair position, line yourselves back up this side, okay? So your hip over hip, your shoulder over shoulder again. Feel for the ribs, make sure they're connected nicely down towards the hips. A little bit of lift through the waist, the way the ribs aren't sagged to the floor, we're active. Okay, both arms reaching. And again, we're gonna start off by reaching that top arm forward, rotating the spine, and then drawing the arm back and up and behind you. Good. And then sliding the arm back forward, rotate. You can rotate the head, you're looking towards the floor a little bit, and then rocking back and looking behind you. Keep that activity in the waist, make sure your hips stay stacked and neutral as you work through the upper part of your spine. And then we'll turn it into those chalk circles. So imagine you've got a piece of chalk in your hand. Start to draw that circle up and round. Take the head, the neck, the upper back with you. Rotate so the arm comes round, back across your hip and your thigh, and reach forward and up. Circle it round. Lovely. Get that nice stretch across the shoulder as well if it feels good for you. And then again, once more up and round. So we're changing direction on the next one. So taking the arm the other way, drawing a circle down, rotate through the rib cage, the head, the neck. Follow that arm round. Good, 2 more in this direction, just dusting that arm round, rotating through the upper part of your spine. Lovely. And bringing it all the way back round and through. From here, we're coming onto our back. We're going to take your block away from you. Okay, if you want to keep a small head cushion under your head, then you absolutely can, that's fine. We're going to do some hip rolls from here. So coming into what we call relaxation position. Okay, with a neutral spine, so your head, your rib cage and your pelvis are nicely aligned on the mat. Again, you want to make sure your ribs are angled directly in towards your pelvis, and your pelvis should be neutral in this position, which means hip bones are level left and right, and the pubic bone is in line with those hip bones and parallel to the floor. I want you to connect your ankles and your knees together, okay, a strong inner thigh connection, and we'll take the arms out to the side just a little way, palms facing up. From here, as you breathe out, you're going to roll the pelvis over to one side, keeping the knees and the thighs glued together. We're rotating the lower part of the spine now. Take a breath in as you return to where you started. Breathing out, roll the other way, hip roll. Leave the shoulders connected to the mat. Breathing in to return. Alternate directions, breathing out to hip roll and rotate the spine. Leave those shoulders nice and relaxed on the mat. Breathing in to return. Breathing out to send it the other way. If you want to channel into the abdominals a little bit more, we can reach the arms up towards the ceiling and do the same thing with the arms raised away from the floor. You have to focus a little bit more into the tummy at that point. You might need a little bit more centering as you go. And then if you want to, you can take the opposite arm out to the side. So you're hip rolling to the left, you're taking the right arm out to the side, and you can turn your head and neck to look at that right arm. Breathe in, bring everything back to centre. Breathing out, hip roll right, take the left arm out to the side, rotate the head and neck to the left to follow that arm. Breathing into centre. We'll do one more like this to each side. Breathing out to rotate, breathing in to return. Keep those knees glued together. One more time. And breathing in to return. Well done. From here, we're coming up and into our threading the needle. So we're going to find a 4-point kneeling position now. Your hands should be directly below your shoulders, your knees directly below your hips in this position. And again, we're looking to find a neutral alignment, rib cage through to hip. All right, the back of the neck is long and up towards the ceiling, okay? Chin still slightly tucked. I want you to take one hand, palm up behind the other. And here we're going to rotate the head, the neck, the upper back as we thread the arm through, flex the hips, bend that supporting arm and rotate the spine. Breathe in, push the floor away and come back to where you started. Breathing out, other side. Head, neck, upper back, rotate, flex the hips. Keep the hips over the knees the whole time. We don't want to push the weight back here. We're looking at rotating through the head, the neck, the upper back, the thoracic spine, yes? And flexing the hips, good. Breathing in, push the floor away. Breathing out, rotate. Breathing in to return. Last one on each side, breathing out. rotate the spine, good. Breathing in to return. Breathing out, head, neck, upper back. And breathing in to return. Good, have a little push back into a quick rest position there. Stretch the shoulders out. And then we're going to come round to sitting. Okay. Soles of the feet together, sitting up nice and tall. Okay. We're going to bring our arms into Cossack position. So just fold them one on top of the other in front of your chest, okay? Nice length through the crown of the head. Again, thinking about our alignment in this position, make sure the ribs are angled directly down towards those hips. As we breathe out, we're going to turn our head, our neck, and our upper back round. Leave the weight even through your sit bones. Breathe in, grow tall, come back to center. Breathing out, take it the other way, head, neck, upper back, round you go. Breathing into center. Good. Switch the arms over. Breathing out, rotate, head, neck, upper back. Breathe in center, grow tall. Keep active. Keep those ribs in line with the hips. Take it the other way. Be careful to keep your arms, forearms directly in front of your chest. We'll do one more to each side here. Breathe in center, grow tall. Breathing out. Breathing in, lovely. We're going to take the legs long now, slightly wider than your hips. Okay, we're going to take this into our saw, slightly more advanced. We're adding a bit of flexion into our rotation now. Arms are wide, okay. As we breathe out, we're going to rotate, and then we're going to flex the spine forward. We're going to take the opposite little finger to opposite little toe. Other little finger up towards the ceiling. Look under that arm. Try and connect onto the outside of your leg or onto the outside of your foot and increase that rotation round. And then breathe in, bring it all back. Breathing out, rotate, flex, little finger to little toe. Just get that little bit of extra help as you push that little finger into the outside of your foot or your leg. And then breathe in, bring it back. Good. Last two on each side. And rotate and flex. Good. And up, last one. Rotate and flex. Good. Grow tall. And to the other side. Good. Really maximize that rotation here. Breathe in, grow tall. And that is us done for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I'll see you again soon.